In this video, we discuss the Eloquentia Perfecta 1 requirement, which, though it might sound like one, is not a spell from Harry Potter. You might be wondering, well, what is an Eloquentia Perfecta 1 requirement course? As we can see from our core curriculum checklist, Eloquentia Perfecta 1 is not a specific course. There is no course that is called Eloquentia Perfecta 1. A course that has the Eloquentia Perfecta 1 attribute, we can see here that it has the specific attribute, is a writing and speaking intensive seminar that's capped at 19 students for FCRH freshmen only. By the way, Eloquentia Perfecta means perfect eloquence in Latin. Eloquentia Perfecta 1 courses, and for brevity, we'll be abbreviating these as EPs or EP1s throughout the rest of this video, are found in a variety of different disciplines across the entire core curriculum. You could find EP1s in philosophy of human nature, faith and critical reason, a lot of the social science courses, some of the fine and performing arts courses. Like I said, they are throughout a great deal of the core. Just so you're aware, there are 4 EP requirements in total. EP1 is taken freshman year. EP2, which if you scroll down in the core curriculum checklist you can see is always an English course, is generally taken freshman or sophomore year. EP3 and 4 are taken later in your college career, with the EP4 being a course that you take senior year. Now that you know what an EP1 is, you're naturally wondering, well, how do I know whether I should take it or whether I can take it? If we look here on your DegreeWorks placement guidance screen, you may see this indication here. Register for an ENGL 1102, which, as we learned in an earlier video, corresponds to English Composition 2, or an EP1 course. So what this means is that everyone who is qualified to take an English Composition 2 course is also qualified to take an Eloquentia Perfecta 1 course. What this also means is that students who have been assigned to take English Composition 1 in the fall semester as a result of their standardized test scores or their ESL placement should not take an EP1 course in the fall semester. This is simply because, given the nature of the EPs as being writing and speaking intensive, we want to make sure that everyone going into the course has a common background in composition skills and that no one struggles. 2 quick key points of information to keep in mind as you start to plan out your schedule around the English Composition 2 and the EP1 course. Note here that the guidance says to register for Composition 2 or, not and, an EP1 course. So you might be thinking, well, does this mean I can't take both an EP1 and an English Composition 2 course at the same time in the fall semester? Yes. If you are taking an EP1 course in the fall, you should not also take Composition 2. If you're taking Composition 2, you should not also take EP1 at the same time. The one important exception to this, and this is the second piece of guidance, is if you are taking Phil 1000 or Theo 1000 as your EP1 course, you can then take English Composition 2. Because looking at it from a common sense perspective, if your EP1 is also your philosophy or theology course, you're sort of getting 2 for 1 here, and you might wonder, well, what do I take since I have that double counting? Composition 2 is a great option for you there. But if you are not taking your EP1 as philosophy 1000 or theology 1000, you should not take both the English Composition 2 and the EP1 course in the same semester. This is simply to help ensure that there is enough seats for students in the philosophy courses, the theology courses, the EP1 courses, and the Composition 2 courses. What if we look at this pre-health biological sciences students' DegreeWorks registration advice? We can see that it doesn't have that recommendation for Composition 2 or Eloquentia Perfecta 1. And why is that? Because, as we can see here, this student, based on their standardized test scores or their ESL placement, has placed into English Composition 1. And as we mentioned in the in the English Composition video, if you have been placed into English Composition 1, you need to take it in the fall semester to make sure that you're ready for Composition 2. So this student would not need to worry about either Composition 2 or the Eloquentia Perfecta 1 requirement in their first semester of freshman year. Before we illustrate how to search for EP1 courses on my.fordham, we're just going to look at one more example to make sure that we drive all these points home. This is the DegreeWorks guidance for a non-science ESL international student. We see that this student is not worrying about Composition 1 or Composition 2 because they have been pre-placed into IALC 1170 and IALC 1270, the College Writing 1 course with its accompanying lab. However, they have the option of taking Phil 1000 or Theo 1000 in the fall. As we said, though, they should not take Phil 1000 or Theo 1000 as an EP1 course because of their College Writing 1 with Intercultural Skills 1 lab placement. They were not placed into Composition 2, in which case they could certainly do so. Searching for EP1 courses on my.fordham is very simple, but we'll demonstrate it here quickly for you. We return to our familiar Browse Classes screen, select the appropriate term from the drop-down box, and click Continue. We always click Advanced Search, and remember we always select Fordham College Rose Hill under College. All we have to do is search for the course attribute Eloquentia Perfecta 1. Fordham College at Rose Hill, search, and we can see that the options for the fall semester appear. We can see the great diversity of courses that are available. Everything from Fundamentals of Communication and Media Studies to History. Scrolling down, we can see Intro to Multimedia Journalism, Philosophy, Political Science, Sociology, Theology. One quick and important note. As was noted on the core curriculum checklist, all Manresa courses fulfill the EP1 requirement, and those Manresa courses are restricted to only students who have been accepted into the Manresa Scholars Program. And since they are EP1s, these courses, like this one here, Contemporary Evolution, will appear. And you will not be able to register for these courses unless you have been accepted into the Manresa program. So if you're not in Manresa, you should be sure to choose any of the other many Eloquentia Perfecta ones, EP1s that are available. You'll see here that some EP1s also fulfill other core requirements besides just EP1. Like this one, History 1100 RO2 fulfills Understanding Historical Change, Eloquentia Perfecta 1, and Pluralism. So this one fulfills 3 requirements in one, and we can see that you'll have other options like that in other parts of the core. One last word of advice with the EP1s. If your preferred sections get closed out, search for alternatives. But if you can't really seem to get anything to work for the fall semester for EP1, or you choose not to, you can always take it in the spring semester. There are enough EP1 seats so that about half of the freshman class is able to take it in the fall semester, and the other half is able to take it in the spring semester. Not everyone can or will be able to take it in the fall semester, and that's completely fine. Remember as well that EP1s are for freshman students only, and thus should be completed in freshman year. That's it for this video.